for everyone just joining in. And again, thank you, Artist on Go, for having all of us on your platform today. The topic that we'll be discussing is sustainability in the beauty industry and how you can get started as a hairstylist and salon owner.
So Tim Howard, I'm the Chief Innovation Officer. My background has been in the industry since I was 19 years old. I started off, typical beauty school, like mom and pop beauty school. And then I went on to open my first location, my first salon when I was 23. And I've done various things. I had many years working for Aveda Estee Lauder as a guest artist and educator for them, which brought me all throughout the United States, Canada, and parts of the world, doing work for them, various work from, Congress shows to Fashion Week in New York. But primarily, I was going in salons and doing education. And that was, during that time, I was really interested in technology. And my personal sort of quest was to solve some of the problems that I had in my salon, specifically around the color bar. We were very color heavy and we were very heavy in waste. So that's where the origins of Vish came from, was that knowing that we were able to, with technology, because I looked at the color bar at the time, and I looked at how technology was making its way into the hair salons. POS companies were much better. They were doing much more in terms of connecting you with the guests, tracking inventory, marketing, but nobody had touched a color bar. And we were still writing things out manually. I would look at the sink every day and I would just see piles of color bowls full of unused hair or used hair color. So I set out to solve the problem. And that was about 10 years ago now, to where we are today, which we're in, I believe, 11 countries. And our primary focus is to boost profitability for salons while delivering sustainability or helping them be more environmentally sustainable, environmentally conscious. So reducing how much color is being consumed or how much color is being wasted, and making sure that every drop of color is accounted for and charged for, so that salons are no longer having these fluctuating profits. I'm really happy that I'm still in the hair salon business, because it's been a passion of mine. It's been what I've been doing my entire adult life. And Vish really gives me that satisfaction of helping salons grow and stay profitable. Salons always try to solve this problem on their own. One of the examples is, having a pricing schedule for when you use extra color, but it's always the honor system. And also, when you're trying to control waste and you just put a bucket there and you tell them to dump their color in, and then you show them at the end in the staff meeting how much color they're wasting, it's great to highlight the problem, but it doesn't offer a solution. And in order to get rid of a problem, you have to have a viable solution. And I truly believe that's what we've created.
Yes, of course. Well, first, I have Vish, and I love my system, and it does really promote so much ease in the salon, not only from product reduction of waste, charging what we are worth and what products we're actually using, but also just in the system of creating consistency in color for our clients. I've been in the industry for 24 years, and I remember starting out and you had to write all of these notes, and then gosh forbid if you lost the notes or didn't put them in the right place, or even when you had a whole system and you're putting it in the notes, things just fluctuated and clients wanted that same color. So this really helped support on many levels. So thank you, Tim, for what you're doing as well.
Thank you for those words. That was really kind.
Yeah, of course. So I am Jacqueline Rodriguez, and I am the Clean Beauty Business Coach. I started my salon about a decade ago. And like I said, I've been in the industry for 24 years. I love this industry. And about a little over a decade ago, I got really burnt out from the traditional, just the toxicity of the chemicals in the products, and also just how much we had to work and how little we valued our own personal lives, and how little we valued, taking mental health into consideration. And I decided that I wanted to start my own business. So I set out starting this whole salon. And at that time, I really had already started cleaning up my entire life, outside of the salon. Cleaner products, not, wasting so much. And I noticed a huge difference from when I was at home in a really clean air environment, there was no toxins, to how I felt when I was actually in the salon. And I started having headaches. I noticed these things because I would have some time away. And I set out on a mission to start to bring some of these things into my salon. And that was about a decade ago. There was not a whole lot of options. And really, that's where the salon came from for me, where I was able to move forward, take these things that were really important to me and my family, and start adding them into the salon. And that's how I grew the Salon Enlightened Styles, where we're a full holistic, low toxin and low waste salon. And then after, doing that for quite a few years, I realized that a lot of hairstylists and salon owners were feeling the same way, but there was no book out there. There was no real education to be able to sit down and get the guidance to create this in our own salons. So that's when I started, focusing on becoming a coach and educating. And that's where I came with the Holistic Salon Academy. And it's also where I got a chance to be a co-founder of the Green Beauty Community. And this whole journey has been so amazing, but I really, really am passionate and love the fact that we're able to really start bringing true education around, the awareness that we can create these beautiful spaces, be profitable, save money, create beautiful hair, and at the same time, reduce the toxins that are in our salons, really focus and prioritize our health and take care of our clients at the same time and reduce the waste. So, this has just been such an honor to be able to be in this type of environment, and then, in spaces like this, to be able to really educate and raise that awareness.
Yeah. No, sorry about the connectivity, but I'm glad to be here. Great to see and hear your inspiring stories, how you guys joined and taking this mission forward. My story is just a little bit similar like yours. I co-founded Jean-Claude. We had 330 salons worldwide. We observed that most of our salons were operating at 30-40% capacity. That killed the whole seeing the wastage of the resources, the electricity, the water. Like, you have full salon and only 3 people are working in 20-seat chair salon. That pushed us to the idea of how can we leverage our technology to reshare or share all these resources with other people, while you have 3 chairs and 7 empty chairs or 10 empty chairs in the salon, and while you are seeing the other hairstylist is building another salon next to you, and again going to use the 3 chairs and waste another 10 chairs. That's where we got into Artist on Go. We're a technology platform. My whole mission was utilize the resources to the maximum capacity and minimize the waste. And that's what we do. Like, if you have 10 chair salon, 12 chair salon, you're using 4, you can reshare with 4 or 5 chairs with other people. So you are conserving the resources like electricity, concrete, and carbon footprints. But also, you're earning extra income, and other people are also going to access to the resources at a very cheaper cost. So it works out great for the planet, great for individuals and their life as well. So happy to be here.
That's fantastic. And truly, when I know when we met you at the PBA Executive Summit, we were just really excited. I know I personally was excited as someone who I didn't really see a lot of those kinds of options of just, salons really leasing out their empty chairs without, having to have a ridiculous kind of contract, which is totally great if you are, wanting to stay there a little bit longer. But for people that maybe travel a little bit more, and that's sort of what they, do as a stylist, this is, I feel like, a really great way to utilize that. And like you said, utilize the space and the resources that people, that people can share. My name is Hannah Craik. I am one of the co-founders of the Green Beauty Community, and the founder of Salonvironment, which we focus on curated education for the average beauty professional, whether it's how to just make sustainable choices in your, just in your space as a salon owner, as an individual. And I focus a little bit more so on the Tim Howards of the Vishes, and as well as even the DMs of, how to really utilize your space to its best capacity. But, again, since even meeting Jacqueline, it's been great to learn more about low tox color. Tim, you'll like this. I went to an Aveda school, so I should have known that I was going to keep going down this path. And I've always loved what they've done. So, and being a hairdresser behind the chair for 7 years and still being a licensed cosmetologist, but doing it a little bit more freelance now, it's a little bit different, especially seeing things from just from the outside of, how can we support our industry, which, that's what we're all here for today. So we'll go ahead and just chat. We'll first chat a little bit about the Green Beauty Community, which was a kind of I always like to say, like, our love letter, or even a little bit of labor of love. We are a platform that wants to bring together sustainable stylists, networks, organizations, where we can really just talk about what we're doing in the industry. Everyone's kind of doing their own thing, and it is a lot of work. So we want to help just kind of inspire and educate and empower, all the beauty professionals that really do make our communities and this industry so great. We focus so much on our clients, which, they are the backbone of our career, and we really love and appreciate them. But that doesn't leave us with a lot of time. So this is kind of our way of giving back and helping support stylists that do want to make more sustainable decisions. That can be through webinars, that can be through, we have a lot of free education on our site. We have, we have a directory that we can have salons join, where they can talk and uplift about their other, just what they're doing in the salon that's different. And then we're going to pass it on to DM. Tell us a little bit more about Artist on Go.
Yeah, no, thanks. So think about Artist on Go as a full-fledged chair rental management platform. The idea is that most of the hairstylists work for 3 or 4 days in a week. And your options are either you rebuild another salon, which we think it's a lot of wastage of resources and expensive, or you rent a suite, which also you're not going to use it for the full time, or you do door to door. But there's a fourth option, which Artist on Go gives you. We help you find a right match of a salon, which is in your location, your vibe, your community, where you can rent based on your flexibility. If you are looking for 2 days a week, 3 days a week, 4 days a week, or you want to access of half days, whatever flexibility you're looking for, we match you with the right salon. You can rent through our platform, not for 1 day or 2 days, but for years, and you can sustain your business. It comes with amenities, so you don't have to reinvest in other resources. You get a storage, you get wash towels and other things, which you will get as a commission salon in general. So everything, think about you're getting a full salon and but you're paying for the rent for like 2 days a week, just like $100 a day. That helps us 3 ways. One, artists like yourself, they can save on their rental cost, but at the same time get a full infrastructure and full flexibility. B, salons, they can earn extra income through renting these chairs to like-minded folks. And what does is that they can actually monetize a full rent out of those. Like some of the salons make $3,000, $4,000, $7,000 a month from our platform, renting 4 or 5 chairs. And third, it's great for the planet and the industry and the community. It brings us all together under one roof, but we still can take care of every stylist can take care of independent business, but they all can be community and be there and also leverage the resources and minimize the waste of any resources. So yeah, it's great to be here. We are in New York City, and we are now launching our platform nationwide in partnership with L'Oreal, SalonCentric, Sambia, and a few other brand partners. So if you're looking for a place to rent a chair from your salon, or you're looking as an artist to rent the chair in a salon, please feel free to scan the QR code after that or message us, and we'll be happy to help you.
Amazing. Truly amazing just what you guys do. And it's so exciting to see you guys expand too, because and also like Carly said in the comments, it's just a really great fourth option. So thank you, for what you guys are doing for the industry and of course for the planet. And Tim, we can't wait we love talking about Vish personally. And we know there's a lot of people that do love using Vish, but we can't wait to hear from you. Just all about it.
Yeah, so we have first of all, Vish wouldn't be what it is without all of our partnerships, and we're always really grateful for them. We have a great partnership with L'Oreal, SalonCentric. We have over 12 integration partners with the POS companies, and that really helps us kind of streamline what we're doing and add visibility. Sustainability doesn't have to be, and I'm sorry if this background is it loud in the background? Can you hear me fine? Yeah. Let me see if I can. I'll try and project my voice a little bit more. What we, how we look at it and how we look at sustainability from what it was before. Sustainability cost us money before, but now sustainability can save you money and make you more profitable. How we approach it and what we're very conscious of from the beginning is not changing any behaviors of a hairdresser. If we go in and try and force them to mix color a different way than what they're used to making or used to mixing, or just change their workflow in general, which usually takes them more time, we knew that would be a barrier. So we studied salons quite a lot and behaviors of hairdressers so that we made our app really easy to use. And then in February of this year, we launched Vish 2.0. And what Vish 2.0 is able to do is take all the learnings that we had from the previous 5 years, rebuild the app to improve all the streamlines. So any of the people who are on the call or who will be watching this, if you're users of Vish in the original version, 2.0 is out, and just reach out and I'll give you a place to reach out so we can convert you to the second version. What we do is we use a low energy Bluetooth scale and we put that on the color bar. And because of my Aveda world, we were very careful to make sure that everything weighs to 1/10 of a gram, because we know some companies use pigments and other things that require fine measurements. So, but instead of just mixing on a regular scale, that when you lift that bowl off, all that data is lost, all that information is lost. Oh my gosh, I just realized how much louder it got in here. And then they interact with a tablet and our app. From there, what we're able to do is categorize all of the formulas that they've built, save every formula. And when they want to mix more color or they're mixing color, we help with the math on that. So anytime you want us to do the math so that you can mix less or maybe a complicated formula, we take care of that. And while they're mixing color, we're also counting the inventory as they work, streamlining their process, making sure they have enough color. But the final step, and I should say the only behavioral change we get hairdressers to do, is we get them to take the bowl at the end of the service, instead of throwing it in the sink, just put it back on the scale. By doing that, we're able to capture what's remaining, update the formula with a new amount minus the waste, so that when that guest comes back, you have the starting point. When we write down formulas, we write down what we started with. What Vish is able to do is give you the amount at the end, so that you know you're going to have the right amount next time. And we have many ways to customize our software so that it fits the culture of your business. Part of that is that we set allowances or budgets essentially on every service. What we've studied and learned over the years is that depending on who walks in the door or which hairdresser does that color, the profitability fluctuates from guest to guest, service to service. And we're able to stabilize that, ensuring that no matter who sits down, we price adjust. If more color is used than is allotted for a service, we make that information available at the front desk so that they can ring the guest up properly with an accurate amount. What we found is services like toners are often at a loss. You often lose majority of your profitability on any coloring services, whereas bleaching services tend to be a lot more profitable. And then we package all that up in such a way that it's easy to understand for the guests and it's easy to understand for the hairdresser. So what we can look at, 2 out of 5 color tubes are wasted in a salon. So I want you to think about that and take that image not from color. It's a little bit hard to visualize, but take that in a retail order. Throwing away 2 out of 5 bottles of shampoo that you plan to sell is ridiculous. So we want to treat hair color the same way. It's inventory. You pay for it. You invest in it. You should see a return on investment. So we apply a markup to all of the colors so that when you go over, there's profit left, whether that's sharing it in commission with your team or using it for education, 401ks, just strengthening your business. So you're able to minimize what you're using, streamline your process, and be more profitable. Typically, what you'll see from Vish is 30% color reduction. So whatever you're using right now, whatever you're spending monthly right now, take 30% of that and put it back in your bank account. But the sustainability piece is not just at your level. That means you're shipping less color. There's less in transportation. There's less in packaging, and just less going into the landfill.
I do just have to say, Tim, I mean, this is truly above and beyond. And this is, especially, I just remember being behind the chair, and whenever, I would mix color, I write, like you say, you write down your formula. And I remember in like most of my notes, I would go, add a little more next time, add a little less, maybe 10 milligrams, maybe, and it was always ballpark. So, I mean, this is like truly revolutionary, and just making it so it's a lot less guessing. And then, like you said, long term, you really are saving a lot more color waste. You're saving a lot of like logistic energy resources. I mean, that is above and beyond. So thank you so much for sharing that with us today. Because as much as I know about Vish, I always feel like I learn something new when people talk about it. And it's especially with Vish 2.0, which is just truly incredible. And so just kind of moving along, we love to, from the green beauty community, we love to define terms in general, but we also love to really talk about this, which is the difference between clean beauty, sustainable beauty, and green beauty. And the person that will talk about it best is our gal Jacqueline.
Hello. So this is one of the biggest things that I've noticed. A lot of stylists didn't really understand that there is a difference, right? So that's why we bring such attention to it in the green beauty community, and how I break it down in the academy as well. So just like an overall view, the clean beauty is really referring to products that are formulated with non-toxic and safe ingredients. So these are the ones free from harmful chemicals such as parabens, sulfates, phthalates, and synthetic fragrances. This is the one that we see a lot of, right? We're always seeing everything's like formulated without. And it's these potential irritating and harmful substances that clean beauty does not formulate with, right? And it focuses on transparency, honesty, and delivering effective results without compromising the health, right? And that's such a big, important piece, because as stylists and salon owners, like, we have to be able to perform and give the client what they want. That does not mean we have to do it with compromising our health. And then when we look at green beauty, this is a little bit beyond clean ingredients. It encompasses the broader environmental impact of beauty products. Green beauty products not only prioritize the use of safe and natural ingredients, but it considers the entire life cycle of products from sourcing to disposal. This includes sustainable ingredients sustainable ingredient sourcing, eco-friendly packaging, ethical manufacturing practices, and reducing the carbon footprint. So green beauty aims to minimize harm to the planet while providing that high quality product that we know, like, and trust. Then when we get into sustainable beauty, that's going to extend beyond just the individual products. It is going to address the long-term impact of the beauty industry on the environment, society, and the economical stance. So sustainable beauty focuses on minimizing waste, conserving resources, and adopting practices that ensure the well-being of future generations. It's really, renewable ingredients, supporting fair trade practices, promoting recyclability, and incorporating ethical and responsible business practices. Sustainable beauty seeks to create a positive, lasting impact on the beauty industry and the planet. So that's really how they're broken down. And some salons may focus on one or the other, and it's okay to have just get started somewhere and see which one aligns with who you are, who your business is, and start there. And then you can work around to see which one you want to grow into or, continue to focus on.
Beautifully said, especially because I think, when you want to switch to, I guess, for, lack of a better term, be greener, or more sustainable or more clean, it can be really daunting, especially when a lot of terms, especially these three terms, are used interchangeably. So I think breaking it down really helps sort of understand, what we're looking for. But also it's good to know, or, just good to know that, not every product, not every, thing is going to be all three. And that's okay. It's okay if you want to focus more on sustainability or more on green or more on clean. And I think, just you going over those terms really does open up that conversation and gives everyone a little bit of grace when they are figuring out what they do want to promote in their beauty space.
For sure. And I think the thing is we always think that it is just focused on products if we're talking clean beauty, or it's just focused on recycling. There's so many more nuances. So, and saying that means that there's so many different ways that you can apply these to your business, to your practice, that makes that big compound effect. So just using Vish and making sure that you're not putting so much waste into the waterways or into the landfill, that is a huge compound effect. That will make a big difference. So I think a lot of salons and stylists are already doing these things. They just haven't really put it all together and realized or recognized how much they're starting to make a change. because this awareness is coming up, because we have things like Vish, like Artist on the Go, where these little changes make a big difference. And when you start stringing them together, you'll probably be very surprised in how much you're already doing, and then how easy adding one or two more things on can really be.
I love that you also mentioned too that a lot of beauty spaces are probably doing a lot of these things and not realizing yet. One of the salons that are really putting a lot of these practices into play, and Jenna Foster is actually a GBC member as well as an Artist on Go member as well too, and especially being in New York City, which can be really hard. It can be really hard to do it just to be any sort of sustainable in, no matter where you're at, but in a city where maybe resources aren't as prevalent or supportive or just harder to obtain. They are, Salon Studio 201 and Jenna are both really great. I get leaders in this, because they do a lot of different things. I mean, they do also work with Green Circle Salon. They do utilize their space with Artist on Go. And they really, and I forgot exactly which beauty products they use, but I know they use a lot of really great low tox products. I mean, a lot of her furniture is upcycled. So it also kind of changes that conversation that sustainable doesn't have to be expensive anymore, reiterating what Tim said earlier, which I think is a really great point, because it doesn't have to feel so overwhelming just to get started. Which also kind of takes us to just talking about your sustainability, journey in the beauty space. So, since I was a hairstylist, and I guess technically still am, but being in I worked at a W-2 salon, so you could really only do so much. But I felt like by the end of kind of my time behind the chair, I really picked up a lot of just a lot of pretty decent habits. Of course, when I look back, I think, oh, there's some things I could have done better. But there's also a lot of things that I realized, oh, I was already doing this and this was sustainable. So being conscious of my use of products, Vish was not around while I was behind the chair, at least in our salon. But we would always try to be a lot more conscious of our products, whether it was color waste, whether it was, shampoo and conditioner, whether it was at the shampoo bowl, not, running the water for 20 minutes. One of the other things we would do is kind of taking just the hair towels that were not necessarily so pretty, but we would use those for cleaning instead of paper towels. I mean, we just always use the towels, and that was something that was ingrained in me, just growing up in general. But it was so nice to see, and when I think, look back at my time in the salon fondly, I love that they also practice that as well too. Another thing that I feel like is really important is switching to reusable tools or items when you're able to, instead of using single use. So that could be, in items kind of in general, that can be using, coffee mugs instead of, single use paper or plastic cups. That could be using metal, like cuticle pushers instead of the orange stick ones, so on and so forth. If you're really able to, cleanly and healthily reuse a tool or item, you totally should. It just cuts so much waste. As well as if you can find an alternative to plastic option, whether that's maybe, what your product line is using. I know there's quite a few that are switching to glass, aluminum, or even recycled plastic. I have quite a few combs that are made from bamboo and carbon, and they've honestly have lasted me so long. I think there's, I think there's just so many different options out there. And I think there's so many more companies and brands that are putting that care and thought into creating, plastic alternative tools. There's just more options now. And as well as maintaining your tools and supplies. I think I probably went through, 7 years behind the chair, I probably went through 4 or 5 blow dryers, which is pretty embarrassing because I probably could have cut that down quite a bit because I could have been way better about taking care of my blow dryers. But, I graduated from beauty school 11 years ago, and I still have all of my curling irons that I got from beauty school, and they're great. They still work great. I just, I clean them well. I use electrical tape just in case if there's any mishaps. Full disclosure, I did used to have a bunny, and he loved to chew on anything that was a wire. So just making sure you can take care of your tools really does, helps you save money. It helps you keep stuff from the landfill, or even just having to recycle it. Even if there's options, the best course of sustainability is using what you got. And then, of course, if you are able to optimize your salon space, sharing it with other stylists, it does help minimize resource waste. I feel like that could also go alongside, if you're, what would you call, I guess my chair mate, we used to just call them our chair neighbors all the time, or salon neighbors. There were definitely times where we would be, switching off just someone needed to use clippers for a few weeks while theirs got repaired, or before they can, afford to get a new pair. Totally same with, if I had extra shears, there's so many different opportunities that you can help, just optimize your salon space. And the next part, I think this is great for Jacqueline to answer, because she has been and still is a salon owner of, Jacqueline, it's 14 years with a salon?
Yeah, 13.
13. Okay.
Almost. Yes. And, there's been over the last decade creating these sustainability options and really just kind of figuring it out on my own. Here are a few that really made a big difference. And the first one really is investing in eco-friendly systems for your employees, right? As the leader, we do have a lot of things that we have to take care of. And when we look at different systems, putting systems, the prioritizing how we're actually getting the job done and how our employees can get it done in a better, more efficient way, that immediately is going to help you become more sustainable, because you're reducing waste, you're reducing time spent on things, which also just helps everything. So looking at recycling systems such as Green Circle or Glow Recycling, and then of course, like I mentioned earlier, Vish, you want to invest in these companies because they have done the work for you. Like I said, salon owner, you have so many other things you got to think and figure out. Don't try to do everything on your own. And I am completely guilty of that. I would try to do everything on my own because I figured, why not? I would save money here or save time here. And it really just doesn't. So find the companies that have the same mission as you and have the same vision, and start coupling your vision and mission with theirs and see how it will actually support you, take time, and also save you money. You know, sometimes you have to invest to be able to save. So the next one is really creating, taking and creating efficient building that will help you save money and energy. It's really, really simple. These things can be done literally the next time your light goes out, just change it for an LED light. It will save you so much energy. Also looking at your sinks, your salon sinks. There are, it's the Eco Heads that will give you better water pressure. Because if you have ever had to use that black, I don't even know what it's called, but the hose that comes with regular sinks, first off, it's like a trickle of water that comes out. And we all know that it is incredibly hard to get color off of your client's head with a trickle of water. So you're able to do a better job and you're saving water. It saves up to like 60% water, but it is very efficient and so much better pressure. And then you're also looking at reducing the toxins that are in your water. Like depending on where you're living, there's a ton of things that will affect your hair and your skin in the water. So just being able to switch those things over will make a big impact. And then using electrical strips, unplugging your tools when you leave. I also like to use, make things easier. And I have little Alexa strips that we use. And I have Alexa on, I'm able to tell her, excuse me, I'm able to tell her to turn off all of the lights and take care of that. So like anything that makes your life easier, right? Now, number 3, buying items in bulk and reducing packaging and waste and carbon footprint. Okay, so number 3 and number 4 really kind of go together. Anything that you are purchasing, see if there is a refillable option, right? So I implemented a refillery system into my salon. With the back bar for our clients, I'm able to refill shampoo, conditioner, depending on the styling products, because we don't have a ton of styling products that come in larger refill packages. I'm able to fill for the client, and that reduces the bottle. It also helps your clients keep coming back because they feel like they're doing something great. They are doing something great by not having to throw away or recycle a bottle, but also they're able to pay for just what they need. And our clients absolutely love that, right? So obviously shampoo, conditioner, and then any styling products are easy to do. But what I also started to do was we all have to buy hand soap, laundry detergent, lotion, all of these things that we have to use in the salon. I started buying bulk and offering refills to our clients. And so now I've been able to expand my retail, but in a very sustainable way. And that brings your clients trust and loyalty coming back. And it has just been a really great switch over and rethinking the way that we do retail, right? During during COVID, we all went over to ordering online and having affiliate marketing or affiliate links for people to be able to order, which is great. But we are seeing a shift in that model where clients want to purchase their products from you in the salon. And I know how hard it is to keep everything in stock and, just switching back to that model. This gives you a third option that is really great and also is not super hard. There are you do have to switch around the way you think and how you actually sell it, but has made such a big difference. And then let's see, number 5 is switching to products that are more in line with sustainable, clean, and green practices. This comes down to, like I had said in the definitions, right? See which one meets your needs. Which one is most important to you? The clean beauty was most important to me when I started. I've expanded, over the last 13 years, but I started simply because I wanted to have low toxic, healthy options for me and my family, and then expanded that to my salon. So looking at which one is the most important to you and just start there. Every single thing we do in the salon, we have to reorder. We have to, look at different products. So next time you're out of your shampoo or your conditioner or anything else, just go and research something that is aligning more with your values and with what you're trying to do in your salon, and give that a try. There's so many more options out there, especially since a decade ago when I started, there was very little options. We have so many more now, and you don't have to marry one product. You can go in and look and change each time. And then once you have found the one that aligns, that gives you the look that you're going for, and you're able to work with your clients there, then you can start bringing in the whole line, right? So you don't have to, it's not all or nothing anymore. And then the last one is optimizing your salon space by sharing, with other stylists, minimizing resource waste. So this is where Artist on the Go is amazing, right? There's so many ways to fill your chairs, and also filling your chairs, but thinking of outside of the box. Like I just saw something on Instagram, and I'm going to start having an event at my salon where we focus on sustainability. We focus on maybe a clothing swap and repairing items instead of throwing them away. It's a great way to utilize your space when you're not super busy, and you can start bringing in awareness around your salon. You can start bringing in more income, because when they're coming in for an event like that, they're also seeing the refillery. They're also seeing all of the other options that we have for our services. So thinking sometimes outside of the box will help you utilize your space really efficiently.
Well said. And I loved, honestly, that because I know we were talking about it last night of how can I have all of these things at this, at my salon, just offering those sustainable options, like a clothing swap, a repair, a time to repair certain items, especially because, salons are known to be a community gathering space. It was huge during the social justice movement in the 1960s, especially in barbershops. It's always been a place for people to, get their news, be able to just to share ideas. And it's another way to give back to the community, and to be able to spread sustainability awareness.
Well,
absolutely.
That's one thing I wanted to just add on there is we are responsible for what our salon stands for. So when we start rethinking what we're doing, that makes a huge impact on our clients and our community. I really encourage people to share their journey, because you are going to have a huge ripple effect with all the people as hairstylists and salon owners that we touch on a daily basis. You get to choose whether it is gossip in the salon or whether we're educating, right? This is a conscious choice, and it's a very easy one. And education from you as the stylist to your clients is also a really great, sustainable way to make an impact.
Which I love then, because I feel like it really then ties into and sort of, comes up to our next topic of conversation, which is, we were really blessed as Green Beauty community to work with Pivot Point on this and really have their support, and a lot of other and other organizations in their support, because we really do want to help educate the beauty industry in terms of just kind of condensing it and putting it in a really easy to read guidebook where, whether it's defining terms, whether it's talking about practices, the sustainability movement is not just a fad, it's truly a movement. And there's so much that can be done. And again, kind of like what we discussed before too, salon professionals are so good at taking care of other people that sometimes it's really hard for them to step back and think, okay, what do I want to do with their business as a beauty professional? So we really wanted to, Green Beauty Community and Pivot Point really wanted to put something together to help the average stylist, talk about sustainability, whether it's helping their business, whether it's talking to their clients or their other, just their other beauty peers. I think there's so much great knowledge in this, and it is free to download. You don't have to be a community member to download this. You can from the QR code in the bottom of the screen. But Jacqueline, why don't you tell us your favorite part about this guidebook?
Well, that's really hard because I love the whole thing. Because there are so many different nuances in it. And I think the best thing about it is it's a resource that you can keep going back to over and over again, right? So anytime you have questions or you're thinking about like, how do I implement something, or what are some options, just revisit the guidebook, but also it is going to be a guidebook that is ever changing, right? So we can update things, and there's such a simplicity to be able to just download it, have it on your phone, and use it as a resource that you go back to every single time. I think that's the best. Like, everything's great about it.
And DM and Tim, you guys were also instrumental in this too, being, some of our supporters. And, we have been, we talk about Vish all the time. We talk about Artist on Go, and we have this, great relationship with you guys. How does it feel to have something like this in the industry now, especially since you guys have been in the industry for a while, and you've seen so many different just changes in trends in, what's here to stay, what's not here to stay? What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an essential guide. I think it's essential because if you think salon owners are super busy, hairdressers are really busy, and it's good to be led in a direction somewhere. And the easiest way to something new to be adopted, or a new way to be, is it needs to be convenient and somewhat easy to do. So if the steps can be laid out, if there's a clear path that a salon can follow, it's going to be a much quicker approach. They're going to get to their goals much quicker. And just the awareness part of it as well. So I think it's something that's been needed for a very long time. Even when my years at Aveda, there wasn't, I mean, there was things that they were, kind of showed us and guided us to do, but it wasn't comprehensive. There wasn't something that was just, here's a checklist, here's the things that you need to do to make yourself and your salon and your community more sustainable and more viable. So I truly applaud it.
Yeah, I mean, I think, well said, Tim. I'll add to that. This is a great initiative, long awaited. As a salon owner, everybody is looking for a first step. Everybody has a good intention, and most of the things you don't know where to start. We see it for sustainability. We see it for people who want to rent the space and make more money, or people who want to save the color. So it's a very good information and step by step. Also, I like the idea that people early in the game, when they're at pivot point, and you know that you're actually learning and getting into industry, you get to know day one, and you don't feel like, oh, after 10 years I would have done so much better in like 10 years. I really like our pivot points, all the initiatives which they are encouraging and bringing this industry and uplifting them. So thanks to Robert and Steve and the whole team behind that. It's really great to see that how they're putting the efforts. It was required. It's a great effort by you guys. So we really appreciate. We actually ask a lot of salon owners when they come about sustainability. We send them this link for where they can go and download.
Oh, that's awesome. It is really fun that there is just a central location that, we can just send all of our friends and family to, whether it's posting on socials, whether it's, sending it to, people that have questions, or, long time, beauty professional friends. It's very cool to, have something tangible and have something that we can, all discuss and all be on the same page on. So let's talk about some unsustainable practices. Tim, I know you've got all the things to tell us.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess where I'll start with the 2 out of 5 color tubes being wasted, which I touched on earlier. What we see typically in a salon is that 40% waste when a salon starts. And again, going back to that before, is that you can't expect a problem to go away unless you provide a solution or a new path. So by putting Vish in place, that's sort of our first area of focus. Is we just want your teams to use Vish to mix every service on Vish and reweigh 9 out of 10 bowls. By reweighing 9 out of 10 bowls, we know that we're going to drastically reduce your waste. And that's the first part towards saving you money and bringing awareness, and then just building that practice. The second part is using Vish Front Desk. And what Vish Front Desk does is it just displays everything that happened, as we know, in a service. Not always what gets booked is what gets done. In fact, it changes quite a lot. A guest comes in or they booked online. I do a consultation with that guest. Many things change. And typically those changes mean I'm going to do more work. And then the time allotted becomes crunched. So when those services change, we make sure that that gets updated on Front Desk. And as you mentioned earlier, as a hairdresser, we don't always charge what we're worth. We have to, like, it's a rare, it's kind of like being the chef, the host, and the waiter at the same time. If the chef is the one cooking the food and serving the food and there's displeasure, you can guarantee there's going to see discounts when we get to the front. And that's what happens all the time in a service. Is I've just given this work to a customer, they've looked at it, maybe they're not 100% happy, or kind of hard to read them. So we don't necessarily charge what we should. We often discount, or we're just super busy and we forget to add on those services that weren't booked. So 10 to 20% of hair color services are not captured, not recorded, and not paid for. So simply by using Vish, it's going to streamline that process so that every customer pays what they should, which increases the revenue for the hairdresser. And post-COVID, what we're seeing is hairdressers are working less, which I think is a good thing. I don't think the days of triple booking and working to the max is sustainable. It's taken away from our personal lives. It's taken away from our families. So by being able to work less and charge for what you're worth, we're making sure that the hairdressers are making enough money. Can you just go back to that slide for me for 1 minute?
Oh, yes. Oh. Okay. All good.
There we go. So in addition to that, again, like I said earlier, is charging the right amount for the service. So not only are the services being missing, they're undercharged, whether you do an extra bowl. We want to make sure that the salon is recouping the money or being more profitable on the color services, we see salons operating in a 0 to 5% profitability, which isn't sustainable. Right? We know how hard we work. We know how hard the owner works. And when you're not profiting, that means you're not growing, that you're not expanding, you're not hiring new people. So to run an efficient salon is to be more profitable. Part of the things that we're doing is having these archaic manual recording processes and ordering processes for our inventory. So let Vish take care of that. We know when you're mixing color, we know how much you're mixing, we know how much the tube sizes are, so we know what you need to reorder. What we often see is salons are tying up a lot of their cash flow in overstocking inventory because they have somebody doing it that's just reordering based on consumption, and therefore they're carrying 18 tubes of something that they're only going through 2 every week. So not only are you freeing up cash flow, you're freeing up space. And that just makes, again, the salon environment much more sustainable and much more healthy. And then we can go to the next slide. So, we do a lot of things. We really support sharing in Vish. So that formula is stored. So if I call in sick to work, or maybe I move on to another salon, the salon still has all of those formulas. Our new app has a lot of features. We're working on some pilots right now with automatic reordering and smart inventory tracking, so that we're going to become, and I don't like to use the word predictive, but we're going to be able to discover trends in how your product consumption is happening. So again, if I go back to mins and maxes, we often set mins and maxes on our color too high or just not accurate. We want to make sure that your team aren't running out of color and that you're not overstocking. So what we'll be launching this year is a much more optimized version of our inventory so that you're able to order directly from us. And we can give you recommendations on what your mins and maxes should be based on historical data. Part of what we do at Vish, which I think is really important because everybody here on the call, I mean, we're coaches. We're not just people who create products or create services. We have to guide people through them to ensure that they're using it to the full capacity and full capability. So our onboarding process is pretty intensive or very supportive, I should say, in that, not only do we send somebody on site to train your team, but we also meet with you on a regular basis to review the data and take you through these stages of onboarding. Because again, the beginning is about usage. The middle is really about charging properly for your products. And then we'll continue on to manage your inventory much better. So it's an ongoing relationship. It's an ongoing coaching, I would call it. And we just have a high touch with our customers. This industry, if we think about, the technology has gotten much better from taking online classes and online haircutting classes and coloring classes. We learn a lot. But I don't think we can still replace that in-person experience. So we ensure that we are making it available for us to send an educator to your salon, work with your team while they're mixing color every day so that they understand how to use our app. And then from there, we'll do virtual meetings to go through the onboarding and the data reviews and data management.
And there's, then so much too going on with Artist on Go. We really do just love seeing what you guys are doing in the industry and where you guys are coming from.
I think it's been as Tim and Jacqueline and you said, the process is not only sustainability, which is really in the core, but also financial freedom. And we at Artist on Go have realized that 2 parts to it. Like one was there was a big mismatch. There are a lot of artists who want to be independent and looking to rent a space or find a space, and then there are a lot of salons who are, because nobody wants to work for salon owners much more, they want to they have an excess capacity and their bills are still the same, so they were eroding all the profits and filing losses. So I think as the Artist on Go, if you are a stylist, there are 5 things which we feel like as a stylist we're looking for every stylist is looking for a dream salon based on their own needs, because every stylist is different. Like if you're a creator, you want to work Thursday, Fridays, you want to work in a medium-sized salon, you want to work with a community of what you like, you want to work for a efficient salon which has right colors and right sustainability model. So with Artist on Go, we help hairstylists find a salon of their liking or their match, but they don't have to spend $250,000, or they don't have to wait 1 year to build that salon, or they don't have to put all their savings of life and borrow from every single person they know to kind of make their dream come true. We match them with the right people. It happens in like 3 minutes. You answer a few questions, and our algorithm will just, out of hundreds of salons, will find out what's the right match, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can pick up. The second biggest thing for hairstylists is in our industry is most hairstylists work for 3 or 4 days a week, and most of the rental solutions or options for people to work is that you have to pay for all 30 days in a month or 7 days a week. So with our technology, we kind of put a chair and match 2 people to reuse the chair, 3 days for one person, 2 days for another person, and 2 days for another person. So you're utilizing all the resources, but very importantly, you are now paying your rent 50% or 30%. Like, think about it, people. I know tons of stylists who are working only 2 days or 3 days, and they pay for 7 days. They don't have a time, but they don't have any other options. So now, if you're saving $2,000 or $1,500 per month on a renter, it's actually around $18,000 and $20,000 a rent. Also, you're doing something really good for the planet, and also you're helping another hairstylist to save another $20,000. So it's not about you, me, myself, and I. It's about you caring about the planet, caring about other hairstylists who can reuse the chair, caring about your own family and your own economics. So that's important thing. Also, just as Tim said, that we kind of also want them to be efficient on the time. So earlier, what we saw that if you're a hairstylist, like going independent is like a lot of hardships. You have to do your own laundry, you have to carry your bags, you have, everything in the world possibly wrong. You have to think about it. Like, that's why people are like, I don't want to be independent. So we thought through when we launched this model, we made sure that as an independent stylist, you get the same care and attention, and you have a same time to actually focus on your creative work. So anytime you rent it, we make sure that the housekeeping items like laundry, it's kind of provided by the salon owner. The basic tools provided by the salon owner. The receptionist, if they have it, or the other things, they can provide it to you. Storage. So you don't have to see the hardship. You have to just show up with your creative work. Your clients have to get the same experience or a better experience, and you can actually enjoy and actually save the money. Also, sometimes independent artists are one of the biggest things what we contribute, we are proud of, is building communities. Like when you're independent, you feel lonely, you feel alone. If you're in a studio, in your home, or you're going door to door, I mean, a lot of times you want to talk to another hairstylist, but you don't want to share the business with them. You don't want them to be your boss. So Artist on Go is a very perfect example where you all can thrive under the same roof, but nobody has to be boss of others. But you can all be friends, take care of business, grow together, but also have those friendships and the same community talks. Like, hey, which color should I be mixing it? But that doesn't mean that you have to take 70% of my revenues. You can still tell me as a friend, and I can help you on the other things. So Artist on Go, actually, we are very, very proud to foster these kind of communities under the roof, and not just let people pay for like asking a question from each other and becoming each other's boss. As a salon owner, I mean, as much we think about the salon owners, I mean, we are I was a salon owner. My heart is as a salon owner. Running a salon business is very, very, very tough. You are more lonely than anybody you can think about it. You have more bills than anybody can think about it. Your AC is broken, you have to pay. Like, you never planned for $2,000. You have to pay for that. Somebody got sick at the salon, they had to leave or they have to move. You lose the revenues all of a sudden. So when you're building a salon, you're actually building for hope, prosperity, and community. But the reality is totally opposite. You end up paying bill, taking a stress, and you'll be backing for everybody from a receptionist, and you end up actually paying the rent most of the time from your own earnings, right? Jacqueline, does that sound like a little familiar? Right, I know you're like nodding, and I'm sure Tim, you might have heard this on the ground hundreds of the times, right? We want to make sure, and I think life was easier when you could sell the products. 20% of the product sales of the $100 was 20% was from the product sales that used to pay the rent. Not anymore, because people are not buying products at the salon. So what are the avenues? So I think Artist on Go is one of the best match for a tool for salon owners, where they can actually earn tens and thousands of dollars. I mean, we have salons like Takamichi in New York, which has earned like $70,000 a year last year. Right? I mean, it's not a small amount for renting 4 chairs to the fellow artist and build a stronger community. So you can give your chairs to the people who need it and have a stable income. B, it covers your rent by 80, 90, 100%, and sometimes. C, very importantly, they can bring a lot of energy in your community, so your salon starts to thrive. And if you're running a hybrid salon, I mean, there's a different kind of energy. 4, with our technology, as Tim said, with these technologies, we make sure that the time you are in full control, but you only spend 5 to 7 minutes to kind of check any data if required. So we collect the payment in advance from your stylist. We send you the reports around the app. You can see who's coming, who's going, what time they came, what money they spent. It goes directly to your bank. So all your information, Wi-Fi, everything is on the app. So you can list your salon in 3 minutes, and you can start seeing some people looking for your salons and come there. So it's technology has done wonders. I wish there was Artist on Go when I was running 300 salons. We would have thrived. We would have, we were paying on an average $15,000 rent per salon. We would have recovered that. We would have earned at least like a few $1 million from renting our chairs. So if you're a salon owner, I understand there are frictions. I understand that salons is your baby, and you are very careful of sharing with somebody. But also for the new hybrid models of renting and building a right type of community, these are some good tools one should definitely evaluate before making a decision.
Thank you, DM. Seriously, I mean, it is so cool. This is a different way to be, to be sustainable. I mean, I think that's what's really cool about just sustainability as a whole, is it's not just paper packaging. It's not just not using straws. It's just so far and beyond that. And I think we had a really good conversation today between the 4 of us of just, and what are we doing as our part in the industry, and how others can get involved, as well. So kind of wrapping up this, this really wonderful hour and a half, we're just going to kind of go through and just to kind of log off. So first, Jacqueline, tell us how we can get involved in the Green Beauty community.
Of course. So the Green Beauty community, it's an online platform. We've got the QR code there. And the thing about the Green Beauty community is we've got forums, we've got the blogs, there's tons of education, and a great way to start connecting with like-minded individuals in the industry. So you can really talk about the problems coming up in the forums. You can read the blogs, get the education, and then you can also go on and directory, the directory. Put your salon on the directory, because one of the biggest things that we care about is highlighting each and every one of you who are doing the work. We don't get enough time to highlight the people who are behind the scenes making it all happen, because really without each one of you, there is no salons, there is no beauty industry. So we really love doing that. So jump on the QR code here or go to greenbeautycommunity.com and come join in on the fun.
And what are our socials? Where can we find us? Where can you find us?
We're Green Beauty Community everywhere except for Instagram, where we are Green Beauty Coalition.
Awesome.
So we're
Thank
on
you, Jack.
TikTok, all the places.
Yeah, what is it? TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've hit all of them. Thank you, Jacqueline. And then Vish, where can we find you?
Yeah, so you can scan the QR code, and we're offering 25% off any startup Vish package. So this is exclusively through this webinar, through this QR code. Our information is there on social media. It's at Vish Salons. But if you go to our website, which is getvish.com, it's a place that you can book a demo. You can get information about pricing, but there's tons of resources. We have a lot of white papers and case studies that we've done with salons who have been extremely successful with Vish. So if you just want a bit of information, definitely download some of our white papers. And if you're ready to take a meeting with us, and we also have a color calculator, or a color cost calculator on our website. So you can kind of get an idea from that by inputting in, salon chairs, how much color you're using, an idea of what the savings are going to be and what the new revenue is for you. Again, about 30% of the money you're spending right now on color will get returned to you through less consumption, less use. And then a metric is we typically generate between $5,000 and $10,000 a year in profit per hairdresser. So it's a massive amount. It's a massive amount of money that's being left on the table that will help you collect. So I encourage everybody to check us out and book a demo when you're ready.
Awesome. Thank you, Tim. And then Dia, where can we find you?
Yeah, please go to our artistongo.com. If you have, reach out to us, advisor@artistongo.com. If you have any questions about our platform, you can drop us an email. We will set up a demo with you. Also for free demo, just scan the QR code. It will give you a Calendly link. You can just book it. If you are a salon owner, you have concerns and questions about and want to understand how much potential to earn in your chairs, you can definitely go to our website. We also have a calculator where you say, I want to list my salon. It's on the right-hand side of the website. If you click, and you can get there, tell us how many chairs you want to rent it, and you will get to know how much money you can make. Typically, one chair can earn you $30,000 a year. So if you are saying 3 chairs you want to rent it, it's $90,000 a year. And it's your salon. You still will be in control. Our app shows you that how you can approve people who can come in, how you disapprove or not approve them to not come in. So it's all matching the like-minded people. If you're a hairstylist, again, same thing. Check us out. We'll definitely happy to help you there, and you will get $100 off on your new monthly membership as a stylist. And if you're a salon owner, you will have first 3 months free to use us, no commitment on a joining fee, and we have a very nominal fee of $39 a month to start with, to create a listing.
Anyone. Anyone.
I just want to thank everyone for being on this call and for all their efforts and initiatives. I love this industry so much, and it's so great to see all these tools and resources that help salons become more environmental, saving our planet, but also being more profitable.
Yeah, it was really a pleasure to learn about different aspects of the business. Thanks, Hannah, Tim, Jacqueline, for sharing your wisdom here. And thank you for the people who are listening for an hour and a half with such a patience. So I hope we added some value for you.
And I just want to say thank you, DM, for allowing us to be here, for bringing this type of awareness into the industry. Like, it's so important, and I'm always really grateful and honored to spread any type of message like this. So thank you for everything that each one of you are doing, and thank you for everyone showing up and watching, and really taking that time out of your busy schedule to learn things like this, to start implementing some sustainable, clean, green practices in your business. So really, like, just applaud your commitment to growing your business, because I know it takes a lot of time, energy, and effort.